Hello, my precious wandering souls. Welcome back to Miles Edgeworth AceAttorney Investigations. So, last episode. Oh my god. We finally got rid of freaking Callisto you. And in a way, we kinda avenged Kay's dad. And I think she's had some closure about it. But we found out that Koshen is not actually the smuggling ring's leader. There is someone else who probably has some political power or something, because we were given some things like, oh yeah, like the guy you're looking for has more power than you think, and I am not sure who that person is going to be. Again, it's been so long since I last played this game, okay? It's like the AceAttorney Investigations. So I was genuinely surprised with the whole Shinna situation. Alright, so let's continue and see what we have for this episode. Oh yeah, and Detective Bad is not a detective anymore, and he's going to jail, and that makes me really sad. Alright, let's see. Game? Okay. March 15, 12:07 a.m. Oh yeah, right. It's the next day already. Theatrum Neutralis lobby. So now we know who the Yatagarasu really was. Oh yeah, that also is another thing. Oh my god, my dog. That's another thing. We thought the Yatagarasu was one person, but actually the Yatagarasu was like an organization of 3 people: Callisto Yu, Brian Faraday, Kay's dad, and Detective what's his first name? Title Bat. So that makes sense. It makes sense how the Yatagarasu carried out its steps without getting caught even a single time. So, So yeah, we solved the whole Yatagarasu thing. Oh, the identities of the original Yatagarasu, that is. And yet, there remains much to this case that needs to be resolved. Like how the weapons close country lines, for example. The 2 countries have incredibly strict security systems and entry procedures. Short of a miracle, it's impossible for someone to have smuggled them in. Smuggling them in, huh? We'll need to open a new line of investigation on just this aspect alone. But before we do, I would like to go through my evidence once more. Oh wait, are you getting rid of evidence? Let me check what we have to see what you're getting rid of. So we have the guys, Koshen, the knife, Babalis ink. This is still important because this is the thing that is being the thing that is being smuggled is actually like there are actually, the smuggling thing is like counterfeit bills, but they're made with Babalis ink, so those are probably not going to be discarded. Hopefully. This thing from that points to Koshen. Both statues, I don't know if they're going to be discarded off. The Yatagarasu's key that can turn into a knife. I don't think the samurai spear is going to be of any importance anymore. Who knows? What else can we get rid of? I don't know if misused perfume is going to be useful anymore. So this is probably going to be discarded. Well, let's see what we get rid of. Unnecessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence has been rearranged. Alright, before we continue, let me check what we... Wait, what about the Ablaze ink? The Ablaze ink was here. Do we not need it anymore? Huh? And the spear is still here? Why? Okay, yes, the perfume is gone. But I would assume that, you know, because of how important it is, that we would still have the bubbly ink, but I guess not. I mean, the important thing is the bills. Like, those are the things being smuggled, but... Yeah.
Hey, there's a VCR here, sir.
Oh, let me move this thing a bit.
Now we can see what's on the tape Detective Bud gave us.
Uh-huh. This piece of evidence from the KG8 incident, hidden from sight for 10 long years. I just know that this is related to the current case somehow. Detective Gumshoe, if you could please play the tape for us.
Sure thing, sir.
Okay, what do we have here? Uh-huh. Okay, that's Caution. This man is Manny Caution. He has the calling card thing on his hand, and I don't know what that other thing is. And he's holding... oh, it's a knife. And he's holding a knife in his hand. This looks like footage from a security camera at the entrance of an apartment building. An apartment building. How do you figure that? Unlike you, I actually read the summary file on the KG8 incident. And the crime scene was the victim's own apartment. So this footage was shot at the entrance of the victim's own apartment building. At the trial, Mr. Faraday claimed that this piece of footage existed. However, no one could find it. Yes, somehow someone was able to steal it and hide it through Mr. Samano. I can see how this would have been a definitive piece, and why someone would want to hide it.
But it's a piece of evidence from a 10-year-old case. There's no way it's related to this case we're working on now, sir.
Gumshoe, DL6 occurred 15 years prior to the other case, and it was related. Okay, it was related. Come on, there's been other cases that were related to cases many years before those. So, actually, I believe it has everything to do with the case we're working on now. The ringleader even went so far as to use Mr. Portsman to retrieve it. Which means that in this video lies a very inconvenient bit of footage to the ringleader.
Where?
Wait, what was that?
Huh?
That bit you played just now. Please show it to me again. Uh-huh. Car. Wait. That's a flag right there, right? This car. This is something we cannot overlook.
Why is that, sir?
Look here, Detective Gumshoe. I suppose is the flag?
Take that!
This is the national flag of the Principality of Codopia. And because it has the national flag on it, we know this to be an official government card. But the question we should be asking ourselves is, what was a government card doing there? Oh! Ah, Miss Von Carmen, Mr. Edgeworth, so you were here all this time. I don't remember what voice I gave this guy. I think that's the voice I gave him. Ambassador Alba! Thank you very much for continuing the investigation even at this time of night. If only I was even a tiny bit more careful. This tragedy would never have happened. I am truly sorry. This wasn't your fault, sir. This had nothing to do with how careful you were. You idiot Quercus, you couldn't chase after a simple thief. Now then, let's get down to the real reason why I came looking for the two of you. I would like you to put the investigation on hold for a while. Can you do that? Why? Excuse me? I heard you're apprehended the thief that turned this embassy upside down. And we are in the middle of an event celebrating our country's reconciliation. We can't exactly have the police and the detectives walking around here forever. You're scaring the visitors away, so I hope that you can understand how I feel. If we put the investigation on hold, someone could get away, or it gives some time for anyone, like for example, the smuggling rings leader to either destroy evidence or take evidence with them. So, no. But we must finish our investigation and resolve the remaining issues. Why don't we leave the rest to the Alabastian and Babalis police? The thing is, they have the power because this is their embassy. So, Ambassador, we are so close. Just a little more and... Miss Von Karma, I'm afraid I made up my mind. And without my permission, you can't proceed with your investigation anyway, right? He got us there. That's true, however. As he said at the very beginning, this area can be considered to be Alabastian soil. And since we are in his country, he has the last word. In which case we are nothing but foreigners in their land. Is this really where our investigation ends? Hold it, I don't know who what. Oh, hold it! Shifu, we found Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Shifu, this way! Didn't you... Yo! Agent Lang, you're back on the scene rather quickly. If I laid back and took a break, I'd lose the scent of my prey, Mr. Prosecutor. What about Callisto... whatever her name is? Agent Lang, why have you returned? Because I have to solve this case, no matter what. Well, I'm sorry to inform you. And don't take this the wrong way, I don't suspect you personally. However, a member of Interpol was just found to be a thief, and so... you don't trust him. I mean... he has a point. Under these circumstances, I wish to put your investigation on hold. After all, I believe our own police can handle things from here. They are quite capable. I want to continue my investigation though. Say something, dude. At this rate, our investigation really will come to a close. Heh. I see now why you got along with Shinna so well. The freaking laugh. Ambassador Alba, I get it now. I really do. Oh, I'm very glad you understand how I feel. No, not that. What I was talking about is... I know who the killer is behind tonight's murder. Oh? You... No! you really mean that, Agent Lang? Heh, wolves don't lie. Then who is it? Well, let me first say that I'm not talking about Mr. Goshen's murder. Oh, the masks? That was all Shinna. Okay, so but didn't she say something about not killing anyone? I mean, I shouldn't trust her. I shouldn't believe what she said. So Shinna killed Koshen. Then who killed the mask second? Langxi says, the truth lies not at the exit, but rather shines outside the maze itself. The truth is unexpectedly simple. So let me ask you this. Who do you think was the mask second's killer? Huh, I'll tell you who. Yeah? It was you, Francisca von Karma. Are you for real? Lang? It was the killer? Oh hey, a von Karma being accused of murder. This time, however, she's not the killer, she's not the real killer. Hey, wait, but that's impossible.
Yeah. Although that wave is actually quite...
Hold your tongue and that ludicrous remark you were about to make. Francisca, he was trying to defend you. Agent Lang, are you seriously accusing her of murder? Are you actually doing it just to get some more time? I mean, not the best person that to accuse. She's probably going to whip you to death after this, but if he's doing it just to gain us more time, mad respect, Lang. Yeah, I am. He doesn't appear to be joking. Is he doing it to gain us time, or is he actually trying to accuse Francisca? Hey sis, I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech, he called you into his office, right? Yes, he did. But what does that have to do with anything? I'm getting to that. Furthermore, in order to solve both cases, you move around rather freely between Alebast and Babal, did you not?
Objection!
And what is your evidence that I am the killer?
Not so fast!
I was just getting to that. Trust me, I'll show them to you in due time. This is starting to sound like he actually believes Francisca did it. Ambassador Alba, in order for me to bring this case to a close, I'll need to inspect your office one more time. Will you grant me permission? Well, with things as they are, I suppose I don't have much of a choice, do I? Good. Let's move out. Oh, and don't even think about running away, sis. My pack will be keeping a close eye on you. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. I don't really know what you're trying to do, Lang. As if we have any reason to flee. Just so we're clear, your logic had better be sound. Because I'll accept nothing short of a perfect explanation. She seems rather upset, not that I blame her. I expected that you'd accept no less. But we'll see how long you can keep that nose of yours stuck up in the air like that.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, as someone related to tonight's case, I request that you allow me to take part. And so that I may clean up my superior's mess. I guess I should. Tell me, the more the merrier, especially when it's the peanut gallery. Oh, in that case, I want to join in too. I still haven't seen what it looks like in Alabast yet.
If you let Kay in, then you gotta let me in too, pal. I can't sit around and do nothing when Miss Von Karma is in trouble.
Aww. Hey, Gummy, let's have a competition to see who can save her first, okay?
Okay, I'll take you up on that.
See? This is why Gumshoe is so good. He believes in the people he cares about so much.
Oh yeah, I'm fired up and ready to go.
As a detective, I don't believe this is something you're supposed to be excited over. Sounds like this is going to get really interesting. Ambassador Alba, I'll be bringing these kids along for the ride. How old are you, Lang? Where are you? Okay, yes, he's a little bit older than Edgeworth. Edgeworth and Larry are the same age. They're both 26. So you're just a little bit older. Still, you have no right to call us kids. Maybe Francisca is fine, and Kay, but not Gumshoe and Edgeworth. Gumshoe is older than Lang, actually. Very well. But I'd like you to keep in mind that this will be your last chance. I'll have this whole mess cleaned up before you know it. Now let's go. I'm not sure what he's trying to do. Okay, March 15, 12:53 a.m. Alebastion Embassy, Ambassador's Office. Okay, now let's first go over the facts one more time. Manny Koshen's body was found over in the Secretariat's office in Babal. The weapon that took his life was one of Alebastion's ornamental knives. And then, the body of the masked second, Mr. Kashi No, who I cannot believe Eldin took such a long time to figure out what the pun in this name is. It's freaking Casino! Was found here at the Alebastion Ambassador's office. Through our investigation, we found that the murder weapon was this primitive statue. And that this is actually Papal's statue. This case, no matter how I look at it, says if it wasn't you, then there's no one else who could have pulled this off.
Objection!
Agent Lang, do you understand the full implications of what you are saying? Of course I do, Sis, and I'm serious. My dog is barking. You were on the trail of the smuggling ring, and you wanted any evidence you could find. Give me a second, I'll be right. Okay, I'm back. Oh, my freaking monster of a dog. Okay, you were on the trail of the smuggling ring, and you wanted any evidence you could find. And so, while people were distracted by the Yatagarasu's appearance, you snuck in here. That's when you two run into each other. The thing about this, Lang, I still don't know if he's actually trying to help us, or if he really believes that Francisca did it. Whatever the result, my dude, you can expect a long session of weeping. You and that other thief who took advantage of the confusion from the fire.
Objection!
Even if all that were true, how do you explain the movement of the weapons? Don't worry, I plan to show that you're the culprit behind that too. You had permission to investigate both embassies as well. With that kind of free reign, you could have easily taken the weapons across or... Hey now! Wait, oh my god, I didn't realize. He caught the whip mid-air. Wow. So we have seen two badasses in this game. Bad, who dodges Francisca's whip, and Lang, who can catch it mid-air. That's so cool. Luke says, I thought I already told you, I'm not messing around here. Ah! This case isn't directly tied to the smuggling ring. But Shinna certainly is tied to the smuggling ring. He is right in saying that she is a member of the smuggling ring. take a shot every time someone says smuggling ring. However, the connection between this case and the ring could not be deeper than what any of us can imagine. Grrr! She's so pissed off.
Let's get this ridiculous circus over with already.
Francisca, you need to calm down. Because you only know the facts of the Alabastian side of the case. I don't believe you can see the case as a whole and therefore solve it.
What?
But don't worry, I am taking this seriously as well, and I will prove your innocence. That's the only way to be, Mr. Prosecutor. But can you come up with anything else that can top my hypothesis? Of course, your explanation has to solve the mystery of the moving weapons as well. Of course, and I will. Let us now delve into the truth behind the murder of the masked second.
You do understand, don't you, Miles Edgeworth? This isn't just a confrontation against Agent Lang. If you can't figure out how the murder of the masked second is related to the smuggling ring, then it will mean the end of an investigation.
I know. As long as I have no good counterargument to his hypothesis. Then the best I can do is walk this thin tightrope and see what I can do. Come on, Mr. Prosecutor, let's get started. Yes, let's. Okay, let's see. Border crossing weapons. One of Alabaster's knives was used in Babal to murder Mr. Koshen. And the murder weapon in the killing of the masked second is Babal's primitive statue. Somehow, these two objects were able to penetrate the two countries' impenetrable security. The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crime was you. I think I know what to do. So as long as I can explain how the weapons move about, Francisca will remain a suspect. You got it, Mr. Prosecutor, so why don't you stop giving me a hard time? Under these circumstances, who the heck can carry a weapon across country lines? I worked through every possibility, but there's only one that's plausible. Your boss. Agent Lang, what I've learned from you just now is that you've lost sight of yourself. You're still very affected about what happened with Shinna. What are you talking about? By focusing too intently on what which is in front of us, we become blind to the truth. Don't tell me Lancy never said anything to that effect. You prosecutor! Who do you think you are, speaking about Lancey's proverbs like that? I don't need his proverbs. Because my words are all you will need to see the truth. Okay. I think I know exactly what to show him and where. Somehow it's two objects. Okay. I think here. Was it Papal's or Alabaster's? This one, right?
Objection!
Agent Lang, those two items are not the only two to cross the border tonight. Oh? The masked second was killed with Papal's primitive statue, yes. But if that's the case, then tell me, where did Alabaster's primitive statue go? To Babal! Precisely. And if the two statues really were switched, then this means that both statues were smuggled across the border at some point. Which means that a total of 3 items were smuggled across the embassies. I guess so. But you know what? It doesn't matter the number of items, only that the sis is the only one who could have done it. Because the only person who went back and forth between Alabaster and Papal is her. Is that really true? Was there no one else who traveled between the two countries? Didn't the... I don't even want to call him the Steel Samurai. He doesn't deserve to be called the Steel Samurai. But didn't Larry at some point travel between both countries? Actually, there was definitely another person, one who paid a visit to both sides of the wall. Oh, the Yotagarasu, of course. I was thinking like, didn't Larry do something? But no, maybe I was mistaken. Is that really so, Agent Lang? What a lousy time to try and bluff your way out of this. I checked out what the guard said, along with the security camera's footage. You're not going to overturn my hypothesis that easily.
Objection!
But suppose there was some other way, other than through the theater doors. For some reason I cannot talk. What other way? The other entity that managed to cross the border unharmed. If I point it out, it would open up a whole new possibility. And though I hesitate to bring this out, as long as this entity exists, the impossible road becomes a possibility. It looks like you've got some clever idea in mind. I do, and I can show it to you through a single piece of evidence. Check. Fine then. Let's see this piece of evidence that will show me this other route. This piece of evidence will show us another way to move between the two countries. Is this... I mean, this is the only thing that I have to show the Yatagarasu, so I guess this one?
Take that!
Agent Lang, I'm sure you are familiar with this unforgettable photo. Che, that's a supernatural photo, like I said before. Humans can fly. I know. No, of course not. I understand that perfectly well. And don't start claiming that Shinna someone grew wings either. No. I wouldn't dream of claiming that. And I won't allow you to take back what you said earlier. I'll say it again. It's not humanly possible to fly through the air without wings. I know. So you'd better have a good explanation for this, Mr. Prosecutor. Ah! Edgeworth! But how can I prove who it was that flew through the air in this photo? Wait, not humanly possible. Eureka! We need the objection bubble there. Actually, I think we're pulling a phoenix. Thinking outside the box. Very well, you will have your explanation. It sounds like you have a good idea simmering inside that head of yours. Let's hear it. The face hidden within this photo's blurry trail shadow is... no, this is Babals. Right. I mean, it could be, right?
Take that!
Naturally, the shadow is the third smuggled object, the Primiduc statue replica. Huh. This sounds very familiar, like a case that we haven't yet covered, because Evelyn wanted to rush things up and play this game before the third game. Huh, funny. You can't be serious! The Yatagarasu, or rather Callisto Yu, or Shinna, whatever you wanna call her, dressed as Agent Shinna. Okay, I didn't read that. Dressed as Agent Shinna was inside Babal. She dressed the replica statue up in clothes and launched it through the air. Ha! Mr. Prosecutor! You left out a very crucial bit in your explanation. I know I did. She launched it through the air? Ha! And how exactly did she do that? He's literally bearing his fangs at me. But he has a point. How exactly did it move through the air like that? As long as this remains unsolved, we won't be able to move any closer to the truth. Which reminds me, didn't he say this earlier? Hey sis, I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech, he called you into his office, right? Maybe we should ask her about that. So, just before the murder, Francisca was called here, right into this very room. If that's the case, then that may be another avenue I can pursue. We have to ask her. Agent Lang, in order for me to answer that question, I will need to hear testimony from Miss Von Karma. Oh? What are you up to now, pretty boy? Are you flirting with me? Earlier, you mentioned something of interest to me. You said that just before the murder occurred, Miss Von Karma had been in this room because Ambassador Alba had called for her. And for that reason alone, you believe her to be the killer. Uh-huh. Yeah, I guess I did say something like that. In that case, I believe it is my duty to ask her what her side of the story is. Ha! Do you really think a criminal would tell us the honest truth?
How dare you! As I've said numerous times, there is absolutely no proof that I am the killer. Miles Edgeworth, don't tell me you suspect me too.
No, I don't.
Don't you see I'm trying to get you off the hook?
I don't. However, I can ignore the fact that you were in this room at one point in time. Yeah, I want to know about that. Which is why I would like to hear about it from you.
Gah!
Francisca, I feel that I still don't have enough information. Which is why your testimony is incredibly important to the outcome of this case.
Alright. So, what would you like me to talk about?
I'd like you to please testify to your movements up until you came into this room.
Alright, let's try this your way for a change. But if what she has to say turns out to be a waste of time, I'll place her under arrest faster than you can howl, "No!" Or rather, the way you say it, "No!"
As you wish. Okay, confrontation against Francisca. Movements in Alabast.
As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard duty in the Alabastian embassy. After I saw the Steel Samurai off on his way towards the ambassador's office, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up on the security situation. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back by Ambassador Alba to his office.
We need to know more about that. Francisca, I want us to make this clear from the very beginning. So what I wish to confirm is that the only time span in which you were in this office was before the murder occurred. Is that correct?
Yes, of course.
I see. For now, the only way I can see for us to break out of this situation is to ask Francisca about her testimony in more detail. Okay, I think I have to press where she said that she was called by Ambassador Alba. We need to know more about that. Here. Okay. Hold it.
Hold it!
At that time, the masked second's body had yet to be found in this room. Is that correct?
That's right. But Ambassador Alba was here. One could hardly miss his rather large presence.
A criminal will say anything to get out of getting arrested. How do we know you're not lying?
Well, if you need proof, I'd be happy to oblige you.
Seriously?
Like I keep telling you, when I arrived at his office, Ambassador Alba was already here. He was standing by the flower box on the windowsill, watering his plants.
I can attest to that. I remember speaking with the lovely lady around that time here in my office. Ugh. Alright then. Add a statement to your testimony and let's hear some details. So Ambassador Alba was in this room at the time, was he?
When I arrived, Ambassador Alba was watering the flowers on the windowsill.
Hold it?
Hold it!
I guess. For the sake of being thorough, I'd like to ask you something. How did you know that Ambassador Alba was watering his plants at the windowsill?
What do you mean by that?
The entrance to this room is on his side, on this side. However, the window is on the opposite side. If what you say is true, then when you entered the room, his body would have been like a wall. He would have been blocking your view of what he was doing. Is that not correct?
I suppose it was a bit hard to see around him. But fortunately for me, Ambassador Alba is not an immovable wall.
Uh-huh.
I knocked before I entered, and as I did, he turned around to greet me.
Uh-huh.
With a watering can in his hand.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's only natural to believe that he was watering his plants, right?
I suppose.
After his greeting, we spent a little time talking about his flowers. He had obtained them himself, and is growing them with the utmost care, you know?
Yes. The plants in this room, they are like my children.
The passion flowers in the flower box on the windowsill are growing beautifully, too. All 4 of them are even bloom.
4? There's only 2 here. Huh. That's important. Miss Von Karma, what did you say just now?
I said that the flowers are growing beautifully.
No. How many?
What about the statement do you not understand?
What do I not understand? I do not understand what a certain thing is the way it is. Oh, wait! She said 4 flowers. There's 2 here. And we have these things. And it says there is some dirt on the tips. Oh, hold on. I'd like for you to append that statement to your testimony.
Very well. There were 4 large passion flowers in full bloom in the flower box.
Well, that contradicts this.
Objection!
Francisca, there are just 2 flowers there. What happened to the other 2? Francisca, for some odd reason, your testimony contradicts with this piece of evidence.
It does appear that way.
Ha! I knew it! I knew we couldn't trust your words, sirs. Shut up, Blank.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Shh. Everything is okay.
What are you doing discrediting Miss Von Karma like this?
Oh, come on, everyone.
Yeah, sir.
Come, shush.
If you keep this up, she's gonna get taken away, sir.
No.
Arr!
Uh-huh.
All I've done is state what I saw. I have not made a single mistake in my testimony.
I agree with her.
And for this, I am still under suspicion for murder. Is the number of flowers really all that important to this at this juncture, Miles?
Yes. At the very least, it is a contradiction in this enigmatic case. One that I find hard to dismiss as irrelevant.
Ha! Then let's hear it, Mr. Prosecutor.
What does the number of flowers have to do with anything? What does it prove? I believe the answer to that will become clear if we were to examine that flower box. How did this contradiction come about? There must be something behind this discrepancy.
They're my beloved flowers. I've grown them with the utmost care. So I ask that you please be gentle with them as you examine them, Mr. Edgeworth.
Huh, I understand. Okay, let's check those flowers. Oh, wait a second. I see something there. Should I examine? I suppose they were all like facing the same way, but this one is facing here and this one is facing here. So maybe there's something wrong there. Let's check. I want to check this
Hold first. This patch of soil looks as though it has had something removed from it. Hey, what are you doing, Mr. Prosecutor? Why did you climb up all of a sudden? I'm still here, waiting for an explanation, you know? Did you know, Agent Lang, flowers are best appreciated in silence. Che! It looks like two things were pulled out of this flower box. Two things? Like these hair sticks? Okay, let's check the flower. The name of these flowers, I believe they're called passion flowers. Despite being called flowers, they are actually a species of vine. They appear to be growing well, and are well supported by these plant supports. Yeah, but no matter how I look at it, it looks like there are only two here to me. You realize, don't you, sis? Your little lie has failed you.
Miles Edgeworth!
She didn't lie.
Hurry up and shut this man up for me already!
Huh. I suppose I will need to use some evidence to shut him up, won't I? Show evidence, don't have evidence to show. I have evidence. I have evidence. I believe I have just the piece of evidence you require. Oh, you do you? You have such confidence in the face of your current plight. But I highly doubt it'll last until the end. You know, you howl like a wolf, Agent Lang. But we'll see if you have any bite to back up that bark after you see the evidence. I will add this to my Edgeworth phrases that go hard. The truth the passion flowers reveal can be seen in this piece of evidence. The hair sticks.
Take that!
Shinna, who was supposedly in Babal the entire time, had these hair sticks on her that look exactly like the plant supports in this flower box. In other words, I believe it can be said that these hair sticks are in actuality support sticks for the passion flowers. And so what? Is this really unimportant to the case? Of course it is. It means that we've found yet another item that was smuggled between the countries tonight. Ayah! Think about it logically, Agent Lang. These sticks were originally in Alabast. But somehow they wound up in Shinna's hands, who was in Babal the whole night. So make no mistake, these sticks were smuggled somehow, just like the knife and statue. Very well then. I want to hear from you exactly how they wound up in Babal. I have an idea, but I'm not sure. How did these support sticks find the way to Babal and why? There must be some reason as to why they ended up here. Aha! So that's why. I guess I'm right in my theory. Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this and tell me its shape. It's just another stick, isn't it? And so it is. But the shape of the support stick is what's important. For when they are used with something in this room, that's when it all comes into focus. And the object that completes the picture when used with the support sticks is... I guess the crossbow, right? It would make sense.
Eureka!
I mean, actually, I was just guessing, okay? I wasn't sure. That's a crossbow. Wait, you're really suggesting? I am. These hair sticks, or rather, plant support sticks. They make for perfect arrows. Ayah! I've done it. I found the common thread that connects the two offices. But this thread has yet to be completely untangled.
Even using the arrows, how does this explain how the statues were transported? Furthermore, who could it have been who fired the sticks as arrows? There must be a common thread that ties all of these things together.
Not so fast!
Mr. Prosecutor, hold up a second. You do realize what happens when you tie a statue to an arrow, right? They don't fly at all. Border Crossing Part 2. So Babal's statue was draping the Yatagarasu's clothes and then shot over here. Even if you fire the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with a statue tied to them. I don't think I need to tell you that the primitive statue didn't sprout wings. You're a realist after all, aren't you? The primitive statue didn't sprout wings. Of course they didn't. Glad you understand. I feel much better already. I was afraid for a second that you were unaware of that crucial fact. It's only crucial because you're under the belief that wings are necessary to this equation. What? You need to free your mind a bit more and let it fly like a bird on the wind. The primitive statue flew, but not on a wing. Allow me a bit of your time and I'll explain this mysterious phenomenon to you. So a statue was leaving the Yatara's clothes and then shot over here. Hold it! But that incredible scene just happened to have been caught on film, resulting in this photo. Ha! And what an incredible scene it was! This photo was taken by a freelance photojournalist, right? Please, game. Please don't make me talk to Laura. Yes, so I hear. And not every photojournalist is known to be honest, right? Especially not the ones that sell photos of spirits and giant creatures to tabloids. Yeah, Laura. Yes, I know what you mean. I've seen those sorts of photos many a time in court. Every single time that woman appears in court, I feel like I lose 10 years of my lifespan. But there have been times when those photos have turned out to be telling the truth. If you have ever stood in a court of law, you would know that it's entirely plausible. Ha! You really believe the stuff you spin right now. A courtroom certainly is a strange place, if that's what you say is true. But there really is something odd about that photo, no matter how you look at it. Even if you fire the arrows... Okay. Hold it, maybe?
Hold it!
But we are in agreement that an arrow by itself could reach the other side, correct? But just the arrow by itself is pretty meaningless, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Because the things they wanted to smuggle were a lot bigger than nothing. No, that's not necessarily true. What? What I need right now is not further discussions of my conclusions. It's the launching of my conclusions. What the shooter wanted to launch with the crossbow was not the statues themselves, but rather something a crossbow can launch that can be used to move the statues. Oh! I get it. If it wasn't a statue that was tied to the arrows, then what did the crossbow launch? Well, I have an idea.
Objection!
Maybe? Finally, we have reached this point in our discussion. For I present to you that which was carried by the arrow from the crossbow. Heh! I get it now, Mr. Prosecutor. I can see exactly what you are trying to say. You're saying that the wire was tied to an arrow and then got shot into Mr. Goshen's office. All the way from the first floor on the Alebastion Embassy down to the third floor of the Babalese Embassy.
If what you're claiming is really what happened, I can see how Alabast's primitive statue could be moved. Gravity could be used to move the statue down the wire from the 5th to the 3rd floor. But then, what about Babal's primitive statue? The dark shadow in this photo is clearly flying away from Babal. Going in the opposite way of gravity from the 3rd floor to the Babalese embassy. Up to the 3rd floor of the Alabastian embassy. How do you explain that? I think I know how to explain that actually. Aha! I think I finally see how the gears behind this whole trick work. Agent Lang, the motion used behind this trick. I wonder if perhaps you have yet to envision how it works in your head. Motion? What motion? This is the motion that was employed to smuggle Babal's primitive statue. Rotary motion, single motion, bungee action. Rotary motion. I believe it was done via rotary motion. If the two statues were transported simultaneously, get real, the statues will collide somewhere along the way.
Objection!
Did I ever say that there was only one line of wire between the two offices? Uh-huh. If you shot an arrow with the two ends of a wire tied to it, a circular belt can be formed.
Not so fast!
Langsy says, don't object and call a success what is beyond reasonability. Taking into account the tension difference between the two wires, the top one would sag too much to the point where the statues would collide anyway.
Objection!
Agent Lang, as you know, the primitive statue is a one-of-a-kind national treasure. And the fact that Babal's statue is a hollow replica of the real statue, it would naturally be lighter than the real one, meaning that my idea is very possible. Langsy says, "Ah!" No, I thought it was like a scream. It's like an woo thing. Here is what I believe happened. Miss Yu and her mystery conspirator set themselves up in the two different rooms. The co-conspirator breached the rooms by shooting the two ends of the wire down on one arrow. Then the two of them covered the statues and proceeded to transport the statues. After the switch was completed, another arrow was fired, carrying the other end of the wire down to Babal where it was to be disposed of. And to do that, Miss Yu hid it inside the grandfather clock, QED. Ha! Ha 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 ha! Grrr!
This proves it, right, Agent Lang? That I'm not the killer.
Not yet, sis. I still haven't had my dessert yet. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? The proof is in the pudding, as it were. Pudding is a nice dessert. So, do you think you can do it? Can you prove that what you said is what happened? Because remember, if you can't, I'll be taking a certain someone back home with me as a souvenir. I agree that as long as there is no proof, my hypothesis remains just that. However, what I have laid out is no mere hypothesis, for there is one more piece of evidence. One more? This should be interesting. You think you have a piece of evidence that will turn your hypothesis into fact? Well then, let's see it, Mr. Prosecutor. The thing that made it possible to create a circular belt out of a length of wire. I believe that it's right here in this very room. Yes, I think. Now then, I believe this is what made the circular belt transportation method possible. The ceiling fan, right? If we use this, we could do the rotary motion, right?
Take that!
I assume that this is what was used, actually. Ha! It looks like you dropped another bomb on us again.
The last piece to the trick are 2 pulleys.
Precisely. The ceiling fans double as pulleys in this case. And thanks to the fact that there is one installed in each of the offices, the ceiling fans make for the perfect pulley set to for the wire to run on. This must be it. This is how the smugglers bypass the impenetrable security. Ha! Ha 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 ha! You really are something else, Mr. Prosecutor. I bet you figured it out already, have you? You know how the big hotshot was set up in this real-life stake show is, don't you? The person who set up this rather large and compressed stage show needs to be someone who has foreknowledge of the existence of a ceiling fan in both the Alabastian and Babaley's office, and that the passion flower support stakes could be used as arrows. The real mastermind behind this case... Well, don't you dare make this wolf wait for his food.
Why are you so hesitant, Miles Edgeworth? If you can say who it is, why don't you present something like you always do?
A single point of the finger here, and this case will explode into international incident. However, it's already too late for me to stop the forward momentum. It appears that I have no choice now, but to rush in. There is a piece of evidence that will bind us to who the mysterious mastermind is. Where are they? I'm not sure if I'm... Hold on, where is it? Do I have it? I don't think I actually have it. Hold on. I was thinking like the crossbow, the arrows, but I don't have it. Hold on. Shouldn't I have something here? Oh my god, I don't have anything here. Oh my god, okay. I gotta stop for a moment. I need to check because I'm pretty sure I should have something there. And I don't. I have... Okay, hold on. Okay, I have to admit, I had to look at a guide. Don't worry, it was a non-spoiler guide, but apparently I have to present the flowers. I mean, yes, it makes sense, but...
Take that!
Oh my god, it was... Because I thought, okay, something like related to the arrows or something, related to the crossbow or something. Ah, of course. That was stupid. Sorry about that. I think I accidentally hit my microphone. This smuggling could not have been possible without the use of the crossbow. Furthermore, the arrows that were shot by the crossbow were plucked, as it were, from the flower box in this very room. They were planted so long ago that the passion flowers had the time to grow so big. That Miss Von Karma didn't even notice the arrows when she visited this room today. On top of that, on top of all this, the fact that the culprit knew that both offices had ceiling fans tells us that the person has very detailed information on the embassy's layout. So, as you may have already guessed, the person I am accusing of hatching this plan is the person who grew the flowers in the flower box with the utmost care. We are accusing the ambassador. Thus, it can only be you, Quarkus Alba. Or Carcus Alba, I don't know how to say that name.
Are you out of your mind, Miles Edgeworth?
I'm certain of what I'm saying, and I am sure that he is the culprit. Tell me, Mr. Prosecutor, what was the ambassador trying to accomplish by doing all that stuff you just outlined? Why in the world would he need to use a trick like that? I understand your need to doubt me. However, there is one thing that stands out to me as very odd. Just one thing, huh? The one single end result Ambassador Alba sought to obtain. If we were to examine the focus of this complex trick, I believe we will finally find the answer to everything. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence. No, not this one. This one. It's very confusing that I have both statues. This one. I would fully understand the reasoning had the situation been the reverse. However, to go through the trouble of swapping the real Primidux statue for the fake, I sense a very shady reason for such a bizarre action. And who better to ask for that reason than King Primidux himself? I see. Ambassador, we'll be examining the statue now, with or without your permission. Okay, so... I guess we start with the... Can I zoom this thing? Oh yeah, okay. It kinda looks like the Steel Samurai. Maybe the head? No head?
This guy kind of looks like the Steel Samurai, don't you think? Maybe it's because they look alike that he was picked to be the Goodwill Ambassador?
I suppose that's possible. Huh? Take a look at this area around the base of his neck. It looks like a cap.
Hey, you're right! Maybe it's meant to be some kind of secret?
Perhaps it's possible to open the statue from this cap in its construction.
What? Hurry up and open it, Miles!
Alright, here goes.
Oh?
What is that?
Wow, it really did open up! Hey, what's this thing that fell out?
I believe a more thorough examination of it is required.
Okay, what is this?
What in the... Is this...
Hey! Is this what I think it is? It's a plate for making counterfeit bills!
Oh! Somehow, it appears that we've at long last arrived at the exit to this complex labyrinth.
Ah!
So this is what Goshen used to print the bills. We finally hold within our hands one of the counterfeit money plates, and the reason why the replica was smuggled into Alabas to begin with. Okay, counterfeit plate. This was found from within the fake Primidux statue. Alba smuggled into this the statue Alba smuggled into his country. The Primidux statue can only be handled by the ambassador or the secretariat, and the replica is nothing more than a hollow shell covered in gold. These two circumstances make the statue the ideal object in which to hide contraband. After receiving the statue containing the counterfeit plate from Shin-Na, the ambassador had the misfortune of accidentally running into the masked second. Surprised by the thief, the ambassador raised the replica statue at the masked second and... Then, in order to flame the steel samurai of the murder, he covered the samurai sword in blood. Well, Ambassador Alba? You're the leader of the smuggling ring. My country is a mess. And it's all because of you?
You're the one who killed the mass second?
Answer us. I never thought that you would figure things out to this level. Oh? However, there is one point I disagree with you on. The head of the smuggling ring was Mr. Caution.
Not so fast.
Quit screwing around. I have no sympathy for someone who would try to pass the guilt onto a dead man. If there is one thing I'm sure of, is that you are the real ringleader, Quercus Alba. It's no good to speak with such subjectivity, you know, Agent Lang. Subjectivity? My conclusion is anything but, and is the result of logic and investigation. Logic and investigation? Only seconds ago you were ready to arrest Miss Von Karma. I don't think we can give such flip-floppy logic any real weight, do you? I mean, he got you there. Are you okay, Lang? It looks like you still don't get why I came back. Excuse me? You see, the reason I came back is so that I could sink my fangs into your wrinkly old neck. From the very beginning, my real target has been you.
What? Agent Lang, I demand an explanation.
Sorry, sis. I didn't mean to put you through all that. So you weren't trying to gain us more time. I knew you were innocent from the very beginning.
You did?
I knew that this whole incident had been meticulously planned and prepared for. So naturally, the occupant of this room, Ambassador Alba, seems the most suspicious. But without the Ambassador's permission, we couldn't get in to take another look around. Okay? Ah, so that's why you put on this big show to accuse Francisca of the murder. Using Francisca's debate, you were able to gain us entry and investigative rights. She's still going to be really pissed off with you, though. Yeah, if I hadn't done that, I doubt the Ambassador would have given the okay to poke around.
So that's what all this was about? Very well, I will forgive you. But I will whip you unconscious after this, just so you know. But in exchange for using me as bait, you will take some responsibility and help us find the truth.
Agent Lang, for giving me such a great opening, I thank you. You know, I just knew, Mr. Prosecutor, that somehow, if we were able to find some proof by investigating this room, then you will be able to figure out a real culprit with your special brand of logic. The evidence detectives collect combined with the logic of a prosecutor. That's just as it should be in a prosecutor detective team, right? Check. I don't know about all that. But one thing I do know is that I'm itching to see that old man get what's coming to him. Oh, you're quite scary when you want to be, aren't you? Hey, you were the one who was planning to use me to push all the guilt onto the sis. But unfortunately for you, you misjudged me. Agent Lang, I wish for you to stop trying to intimidate me. What we need right now is evidence and proof. I wonder if you have what is necessary to prove that I am the head of the smuggling ring.
Objection!
Don't be such a sore loser. If you really are the head of the smuggling ring, then you should acknowledge your crimes with dignity.
Nah, if he is the head of the smuggling ring, come on, he's not going to admit to it. Dignity? That is nothing more than a full sincere display of strength. If you really wish for me to acknowledge my crimes, then I would like to first see some of this thing you call evidence. Gah! I tell you, I knew nothing really. I didn't even know that a counterfeit plate was hidden inside a statue.
Objection!
You swapped a real statue that vested in your country the authority to rule for a fake. It doesn't make any sense that you didn't know anything.
It doesn't make sense. Where doesn't it make sense? Can you prove that it doesn't make sense?
Ugh.
He's really got us. He's turned the entire situation around against us.
The proof that Interpol has been after, which points to this man as the ringleader. If we can somehow find that proof now, then we can see to it that justice is finally served. Is there nothing I can use to break this case wide open?
We have one thing, but I'm not sure if we should use it now.
The trump card and the videotape. With those two items, we might be able to finally bring this man down. But the card is evidence from a case that Mr. Faraday hid away in secret. And the tape was stolen by Detective Bad from the police. They're both illegal evidence. No matter what, a protector of the law can't be allowed to use such pieces of evidence. Needless to say, we Von Karmas are commanded to achieve nothing but victory, and by any means necessary. Oh no. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at the time. Should we? I no longer follow the path of Manfred von Karma, and I won't follow the path of the Yatagarasu. This leaves me with what? What creed will I believe in? If I want to pursue the truth, then I will sully my hands in illegality. And if I want to pursue justice, then I will lose the truth. What is the law, and what is justice? And which path is a prosecutor supposed to follow? That choice is one I must make by my own hand here and now. Use the trump card or use the trump card? Should I? I don't know. Don't use it, don't use it. I am a prosecutor, and I can allow myself to use evidence such as this.
Mr. Edgeworth, if you don't do something, Ambassador Alba is going to get away with it.
I know, but...
Objection!
What are you holding back for? I don't want to use illegal evidence. The only thing a Von Karma should pursue is the perfect proof.
I am not a Von Karma.
If you really do have what it takes to complete our argument, then there is absolutely no reason not to use it.
Langsy says, the reason people judge people is because people are people. People weren't born to be chained to the law. Laws were born to protect the people. You're the only one here right now who can put this guy out to pasture. And that is the only way a second or a third generation of Sengfax people will be born. Can you really still hesitate knowing the fate of a nation rests in your hands? There is no limit to the law. Any limit that exists was set there by man. When a person goes beyond that limit, then the law too crosses into new territory. For what reason were laws invented? The answer to that is what I must now show. Ambassador Alba, I wonder if you might recognize this. So even if I didn't want to show it, he's going to show it anyway. Oh, I wonder what that card is. I never seen that before in my life. Oh yeah, because that exclamation mark means nothing. It's a directives card used by the leader of the ring to relay instructions to his subordinates. Oh, is that what it is?
This car was sent to the real culprit behind the KG8 incident 10 years ago. A man by the name of Mr. Manny Caution.
Oh, so why do you have such a card in your possession?
Because it was hand-delivered to me by a certain great thief, the Yatagarasu.
The Yatagarasu gave that to you. Don't talk nonsense and let's be serious, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you have any proof that the card contains directions from the ringleader?
I'll have you know that the card is not the only thing I was given.
What?
This contains security footage that was shot just before the start of the KG8 incident.
The KG8 incident?
The card and the video. These two pieces of evidence are what will seal your fate.
Oh, very interesting. I must admit I am very curious now. Very curious indeed in this case-deciding piece of evidence you've presented.
The prey the Yatagarasu has been chasing all this time now stands before me. I can allow this man, who has free rein for 10 long years, to simply walk away. Now is the time for me to bring to fruition the valiant spirit that was given to me.
Okay. March 15, 1:34 AM, Theatrum Neutralis, lobby. So, what is this interesting thing that you wanted to show me?
The trump card and the videotape. These two pieces of evidence together make for the ultimate hand. And this is where the real meaning behind Detective Bat's words will be realized. Detective Gumshoe?
Yes, sir.
What you see here is security footage shot just before the KG8 murder occurred. From this footage, we know that the car is a direct scar from the smuggling ring. This is the section that proves that car was used to relay an order. Right here.
Take that!
As you can see, Mr. Caution is holding the card in his right hand.
I see. The killer is indeed holding a car with the exact same design on it. But that car and the one you have? Just because they look the same doesn't mean that they are, does it now?
Actually, but there is a very easy way for me to prove that they are, in fact, one and the same. All we have to do is simply take a look at this.
At this?
This dark red blood. Yes, this is your proof. Proof that the orders of this car were played out in the terrible tragedy. The blood belonged to the victim of the KG8 incident. With a bit of DNA testing, we can very easily verify that as a fact. If you have no objections, then I'd like for you to take a look at this next piece of footage. This car that passed by in front of the victim's apartment building is an official Codopian government car.
Why?
Detective Gumshoe, if you could please magnify the footage.
Huh!
This area of the footage directly links the smuggling ring with Codopia. This thing right here.
Take that!
The shape of this pocket and the and the directives card in it. It tells us that without a doubt this person in this car is Mr. Caution.
Gah!
The license plate on the car was also captured by the security camera. And with it, we can easily find out who was sitting in this car on that day 10 years ago.
Gah!
Which is why I can say with confidence that you were riding in this car on that day.
Ah!
Ha!
Oh! Oh! Should I change his voice? You've done well, boy, to make it this far. Yeah, maybe something like that. However, about your claim that I was riding the car at the time, that's going to be mighty difficult to prove. How so? The Principality of Codopia no longer exists. So naturally, all records from that time period also no longer exist. No, that arrogance. What he really means is he's already erased all traces of them. Are we finished here, boy? The only weapon I have left to me now is this piece of footage. There must be something that I can use against him. I mean, what is this thing? What is this tiny thing right here?
Take that!
What the? Ambassador Alba. Yes, what is it? You were once an army man in the service of Codopia. And it was you who made the many missions you participated in successes, correct? Why the sudden backhanded praises, boy? Although, to be sure, the brilliant medals on my breast were awarded to me during the era of Codopia. But now, I am the only one who owns this particular medal. In that case, the only person it could be who is sitting in this car is you. How do you figure that? By the medal captured here in this footage. It is clearly the same exact medal as the one on your chest. What? Holy crap, his face is like breaking. This is how it will be, but I won't look back. For this is the path that I have chosen. You've moved me with your devotion to this case, Mr. Edgeworth. Why is he taking such an arrogant stance with me? It's almost looking possible, isn't it? For the lot of you to have come this far. It looks like I just might lose our little game this time. You might lose the game this time? You don't get another round, Mr. Ambassador. Is that a fact? Very well, I've decided to confess and admit my guilt. It can't be that easy.
You're going to confess?
And I will accept whatever punishment that may come as a result. What the? Regarding the masked second murder, I admit it, I did it out of self-defense. You're claiming it was justified self-defense. The masked second attacked me and I felt that my life was in danger. If I hadn't done what I did, I might be the one you found dead instead of him. Ha 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 ha! What a pathetic performance! Ha 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 ha! I'm not giving you one.
Wow, you do really know how to laugh at inappropriate times.
If you wish to claim it was justified self-defense, then we will need some evidence. It's always the evidence with you, isn't it? But if that's what you require, I'll provide it. That man left a mark on me when he attacked. What? I don't particularly want to show it off, but this is proof that it was in self-defense. I'm an old man and sometimes I don't pay enough attention when I should.
But the masked second didn't have a single weapon on his body.
Hold on, it's nothing to get worked up over because I hit the weapon.
You hit it?
I'm sorry, but as you know, a murder is a murder even if it's self-defense. And I couldn't let it become public since I am an ambassador. This is the weapon you seek. My special bonsai trimming shears.
Oh, it's covered in blood.
He was trembling quite badly during our struggle. But that's when he grabbed the shears that were sitting in my office and attacked. So you see, it was an act of self-defense.
Is he right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Since he has both a wound and the weapon that caused it is enough to declare it so. Ambassador Alba's wound. Ambassador Alba claims that it's proof he was stabbed by the masked second, so it was justified defense.
No way!
Oh, which reminds me, I guess there's still one more accusation I need to resolve. Smuggling and counterfeiting. Unfortunately, all of that is my secretary's doing. I had no knowledge it was going on. Stop spewing nonsense! You're trying to throw my investigation under the bus in your desperation. If you want to get real honest, everything in this case can be connected to you.
The murder of the masked second was done in self-defense. In my trials, no man escapes his crime alive.
He didn't even react when Francisca whipped him. Or maybe she didn't hit him. Perhaps so, if you were my opponent in court. However, there is one very important fact that I think you may have forgotten. And what is that? Yeah? Yep. That's what you mean. Yep. Extraterritoriality. Yep, since technically speaking, we are not in Japanifornia, we can't follow the same procedures here. Well, that's a problem. That's right. This embassy sits on what is effectively Alebastian soil. So any trial is to be held, will be held in Alebast. Therefore, the crime I just admitted to will never be tried in your courts. Agent Lang, what is Interpol's stance on this? Agents investigate, that's our job. The judgment of people who have confessed to their crime, that's the court's job. That's bad. Grr. And I've already confessed to all of my crimes, Agent Lang. Furthermore, by the very nature of my position, I have full extraterritorial rights. These rights are effective even in your country's soil. Therefore, no matter where a crime may take place, I will never stand trial in one of your courts. That arrogance and your expression. That's nothing like the face of someone who is ready to accept the consequences. Don't tell me you have your own country's judicial system eating right out of your hands. Probably, if he is tried in Alabast, he could probably get off scot-free. This is infuriating. These crimes you all speak so seriously of. To me, this has all been nothing more than a game. You may chase me out of this embassy with your accusations, but it's no big deal. Alebas has numerous other embassies in other countries around the world. All you would accomplish is you would change the backdrop of our little game. These two layers of protection that extraterritoriality provides him. That's a freaking long word. This is why he's one of those who cannot be brought to court. You see now, don't you? I live in a whole different world than you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go and fetch your eviction papers. What now? Is there nothing we can do? Okay, guess we'll find out in the next episode. That's so frustrating. Okay, I gotta stop recording. So, I hope you liked it. If you did, maybe consider liking and subscribing. Oh, my throat is killing me. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye bye.